pencils today, which the world is healing. It's healing. We're moving on. I've seen way more edits. I even the vanilla Dapple was
Yes,
crazy.
I've seen
That was a crazy pick.
a lot of edits today.
Yeah. So glad we're moving on from pencil.
I think
At least
that
slowly.
pencil's like a cockroach. It'll never truly go away. But for now, we're going to have our eyes graced by Red's E-Leader and some other interesting picks as we go into this first match. We're going to be seeing the vanilla not coming out with the Storm. We're going to be seeing that Range Blaster as I predicted.
Ooh, and it looks as if Fuego Calamari is actually going coolerless.
Oh!
Not using a zap edit or pencil, thank God.
Oh, wow. We'll have to see.
Very interesting pick.
They're going to have to make every pick that they get count, and I definitely don't doubt Fuego Calamari's ability to get the picks that they need, considering how they've consistently performed very well at every Big Dapple that they've been to. I believe at Big Dapple 4 they got second place.
I believe so, yeah.
I definitely don't doubt their ability to be able to make every pick count. But we're going to have to see how that shakes out, considering they're currently being backed into a corner by YARG, who has already pushed past the first checkpoint and is beelining for the second one. But that triple is going to make it so the pace is going to be changed right there.
Yeah, that is a crazy push from YARG, all the way past 50 already. Not even within a minute of the game. We're already here. They're already near the halfway point.
Yeah, but the tides are quickly turning as I kind of hoped as an N-Splash main. Cactus went for the N-Splash pick, and those strikes are going to prove incredibly useful for taking that space on the court, on the ramp, and this is going to be shaking out right in Fuego Calamari's favor as they beeline for that second checkpoint there. Mudkip getting a few picks, but he's going to be quickly taken out by that Zuka from Cactus. Cactus going to be going down. It's just a bloody back and forth right now.
Yeah, definitely. Red able to hold in jumps for Vic to jump back in. Oh, but
That
Saito
is a
getting the
sick
double on
double.
Vic and Gabe.
Oh, they grouped up a little too hard there. Oh, Cactus still able to stay on the tower, but not for long as the whale comes out. No specials on the board for either of these teams right now, though, so we'll probably see a reset back to it. Cactus is going to be breaking out those strikes though for a little bit more space control. Oh, that's not Cactus on the end splash.
Oh, yeah, it's Vic.
Excuse me. Cactus is on the shot. Cactus is on the shot, but I am happy that an end splash is being run regardless. I am happy about that. I'm always happy to see that.
Definitely. Gabe doing a little sharking over here, but unfortunately gets
Not
picked by
going to
Saito.
be able to succeed. Saito has eyes everywhere, I'm afraid, and that wave is going to be coming out, hoping to retain some control of this court here as the tower spurts on by. They were unfortunately lost that narrow lead that they had, but it looks like they might be on the verge of getting it back, and that they do as they approach this second checkpoint, seemingly uncontested right here, as Eden is doing a great job distracting Pavilion there, able to get the trade. They head towards the third checkpoint here. Just an insane back and forth, picks going down across the board. Saito chasing Gabe away to this side.
And they're able to knock out.
They're able to knock out. Wow. That was an intense back and forth, I'd say.
Yeah.
Over so quickly as well. Pirates on a boat indeed.
Perfect.
I always love seeing teams getting so hyped like that. I remember earlier when I faced Malibu Rising in bracket. They would cheer Malibu Rising before every game. And it's just like, you can't even be mad when you lose because the other team is just like so proud of themselves. They're so happy to be here. Team pride is definitely something that probably one of the best parts of these lines is getting to see teams like hype each other up. Hyping each other up. Excuse me.
Absolutely, and that was very interesting picks from YARG in terms of weapon comp. You obviously have your zap for your cooler, but to go bow is very interesting. You don't normally see bow often.
Yeah.
And the double midline with Nautilus and range is also really interesting as well. And you sort of have that double midline, double AoE pressure. You have your whales, you have your storm, which with the healing factor also damages your enemies. Which is very, very good for their comp.
Yeah, we haven't been seeing too much bow at this level of play, but I am definitely happy to see it come out with that comp, they didn't really have like an aggressive front line. They just had the zap and their mid lines, but it shaked out really well for them. And I have to wonder how Fuego Calamari is going to be able to adapt going into Rainmaker on Undertow.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they go about it. Whether they, go back to cooler, or if they remain coolerless for the rest of the set.
I definitely think that, as much as I hate to admit it, having cooler is almost an essential in this
Yeah.
matter. So seeing someone go without cooler, I respect it. But you gotta prove to me that it can work. It definitely did work on that first push, but they weren't able to recover from it, likely because of the lack of it. So we're gonna have to see how things turn out on Undertow here. I'm predicting that Saito stays on that red. Ooh, red
That is
leader
a
coming
very
out.
interesting mix-up from both teams. Whoa, okay. So we got, Fuego now has a Gal, a Junior, a T-Tech, and Red is changed to the Kraken E-Leader. And on YARG, Mudkip has chosen to go with the Gold Nautilus, and Red has, there's two Reds, oh god.
There are two
It is now...
They
Redstone
multiplied.
is now on Heavy Deco, which is not a pick I see often.
Like I was saying before with Nolan, I definitely think both teams recognize that Kraken on Undertow is 100% the play, and things seem to be working out in Fuego Calamari's favor so far as they're able to get that first push. That triple splashdown crashing in on them though. That's not the first time that we've seen triple splashdown today.
It's not. However, I do enjoy the Golden All pick. It's very, yeah.
A bit risky, but
Ooh, Fuego able to get the knockout and very easily able to get check. And they're going left, despite right being extremely clear and very close.
I definitely think for the long haul, left is almost always the play, but they are going to be getting wiped out right after that check, though. They got the points on the board, though, and that is really what matters right now. Saito isn't going to be able to retake the space on their own because of the range blasters' lack of paint. They're going to be going down there without their team. But it's still far from over for YARG here as the checkpoint slowly but surely clears itself out as picks go down on the side of Fuego Calamari. 3 down, and if they're able to get past Red's Kraken, this checkpoint will be wide open, but they can't do it.
Very unfortunate drop from the Kraken, but they are still able to get checked due to the T-Tech being the only remaining player left.
And in this tight corridor, it's every man for themselves as they fight over space, and it looks like Fuego Calamari was able to win that fight. They both went for the rain there, and Vic was the one that picked it up. I'm not entirely sure if that was the outcome Red was going for.
It does appear that they're going right now.
They're going right,
I
Jack
believe.
Rustan.
Yes, much. Ooh, not going to quite cut it though.
It is going to be an uphill battle from here. Getting up the uninkable is definitely the most difficult part of going for this checkpoint, which is why you don't really see it happen that often. YARG able to turn the tides a little bit here. Their positioning is going to be really important. They picked up the Rainmaker with their special ready, which is going to be quite unfortunate. No triple splashdown on the board for them.
Although if they can get the cooler to the Rainmaker in time, never mind. They would have been able to keep it. Never mind.
No cooler for YARG as the triple is on the board.
Very early bubble. Very interesting decision to use the bubble all the way in mid.
Yeah,
to
they're
2
very
down.
quickly going to be pushing past that. YARG in a bit of a pickle. Hold up over here. Saito picking that fight on their own is going to be going down. The Kraken on the side of YARG going to make this push a little bit difficult. Sandwich between those two specials there. Red was just barely able to escape. They went down, but that squid roll was really impressive.
Oh, definitely. The Kraken is a scary deal. Scary deal.
Especially in the corridors of Undertow. That's why it's such a good pick. And the special coordination here, you saw the strikes come out and then immediately the whale followed.
Yes.
Just clearing the way for this checkpoint right here. Going to be getting that very safely and securely. Now it's just the rest of the map to go.
Ooh, and Fuego just able to get the lead.
Able to get the lead and run it with all of that paint control up the street up to a 22 lead.
Maybe difficult for YARG to get the lead back, but could definitely be possible based on how Fuego reacts.
Yeah, Cactus jumping out there. They're still coolerless, so they do still have to play safe if they want to maintain this lead within the final minute.
Ooh, and Saito able to get the pick on the T-Tech.
I definitely think Blaster is a good pick for Undertow with all of these, like the grates here, all of these ledges that you're going to be underneath when you're on Undertow. The range is definitely an extremely valuable pick to have, but the Kraken from Red is going to be coming out, putting a stop to this push with a double.
But unfortunately also going down, allowing YARG to re-pick up the
that's
Rainmaker.
a lot of control. They might just get it here.
And allowing them to take the lead.
Barely 19 to 22. 20 more seconds on the board. 3 down from YARG. That's going to be a wipeout. Fuego Calamari has to make this count, and they have to do it now.
They gotta make that push. They gotta get the whale. They gotta get all their specials. They need to use bubbles in good spots.
Fuego Calamari's got a very paint-heavy comp, so it is possible that they'll be able to control the space that they need to make this final push. But YARG is approaching them on all sides. 2 of them go down on each side. This is going to be making out for a very bloody finale. We get another pick here on the side of Fuego Calamari. Red is just holed up in the back there. They're not going to be able to have a Kraken with Red carrying there. Cactus goes down. The Kraken approaching
and the
on
Kraken
the spine,
gets the Rainmaker.
And they're going to lose the Rainmaker there. 2-0 for YARG. Pirates on a boat.
Oh my.
That was so tense, wow. They're definitely giving us a show here in semifinals.
Oh, absolutely. It really could go either way. We still could see a comeback from Fuego, or YARG can just take the clean sweep and send Fuego all the way to losers.
It's far from over. It's a best of 5, but it's perfectly possible that Fuego Calamari could pull up a reverse sweep, excuse me. But I'm definitely finding it interesting, the archetype of comps that we're seeing here with YARG going so midline heavy and just like midline aggro heavy, while Fuego Calamari just focuses on the paint and like slowly but steadily taking space. They're getting these excellent pushes in the beginning, but something always happens toward the end to turn it around in the favor of YARG. And I have to wonder how they'll be able to adapt on Clam Blitz Manta in order to make sure that doesn't happen. I think that the paint control that Fuego has here could help them reap the benefits in terms of controlling the street and the bunker here. But YARG is just so confident in the picks that they're able to get that I'm truly not sure how this will play out.
Yeah, it really could go either way. It'll be... I do wonder if Fuego will just keep sticking to coolerless. It doesn't seem to be working too well for them, but honestly, they might have a plan.
Yeah, I really have to wonder if Cooler is, because Fuego Calamari is an incredibly like stacked, talented team, and I have to wonder if Cooler is the tiny, tiny thing that's like slipping these wins away from them. So,
The Autobomb.
hello, Autobomb.
It's
hello,
the child.
McVillian Autobomb. You haven't gotten to show chat your Hollow Knight plushie.
I did a little bit. When the
You'll have
cam
to
gets
do
back
it.
onto us.
Next time the cam is on us, we'll
Yeah.
have to show off our little friend. Where did my hat go? My hat fell off. That's not good.
I really do enjoy the mixed backline from, I believe it's Redstone on the side of YARG. Again, the heavy deco, the bow, really interesting, not very seen often.
Yeah, the heavy deco is definitely not a pick that we've seen come out a lot. The Stamper coming out on the side of Fuego Calamari. I am incredibly excited for this. That Stamper has the potential to control so much space in the streets there.
Yeah, and Fuego still, again, choosing to go coolerless for the 3rd time now.
Yeah, wow.
Could be their downfall, or maybe they're adapting.
Maybe the start of something new. We'll see. Mudkip hanging out on the bunker here. They know that this bunker is a very important part of the map to keep control of. We're just seeing a lot of back and forth. Red hanging off to the side, hoping to get some early picks. No picks yet. Interesting, 30 seconds into the game. We finally see a few go down. That Stamper is going to be going down. the main aggro option on Fuego Calamari down, 3 down, and Eden already taking control over the street here with excellent clam economy right off the back. YARG is going to be getting the first push for the first time in these 3 sets that we've had.
Yes, and we see Saito attempt to go through left side, however, does unfortunately drop. Redstone holding their own, but unfortunately also having to back out, giving them a pretty decent lead of 71.
I think that Redstone taking that exit out the back flank was a smart move. You never want to get wiped on a clam blitz push. You always want to retreat if you can. Hold on to that special, hold on to that economy, just keep as much control as you can. Sometimes just going all in, pushing the basket isn't really the play, even if it costs you a couple of clams, you know? You want to be able to take and control space, and that bubble is going to help Fuego Calamari do just that as they navigate their way through this perilous street right here, not able to get that power clam in a tight fight.
And Gabe unfortunately dying to the bow on his jump. Unfortunately unable to save the power clam and score.
Not a very fortunate jump right there, and we're going to be seeing a reset to neutral. Gabe able to take some space control, getting a pick there with a lot of pin control, but that's Platana getting the double. That's going to be Fuego Calamari's opportunity to push up with 3 down on the side of YARG, just their back line up right now. Taking control of that bunker immediately, that's exactly the play. Taking control, putting that bubbler down, establishing a solid barrier. This is our territory now, and we're going to be the next to score, and they have the clam economy to do it.
Yes, but they are unfortunately going to go 2 down. The Stamper and Gal, unfortunately, leaving only the junior and the leader unable to push too far forward, so they are not able to keep that space.
I definitely think the play now is for them to regroup. They have another bubble on board because that junior is hanging out and is still alive. 2 specials on deck. In fact, this could be the beginning of a really great push. We see the wave come out, more control, space control. No,
ooh, and Vic is going to miss the
but
power
they get
clam.
the second one. It's all good. It's all good. They're going to be getting a very solid lead right there with what was a very coordinated and well-timed push. I definitely think that the patience paid off in spades for them there with a solid lead of 36 on the board. Vic is going to try to back up, but to no avail as Red is going to be the last one to jump out.
It was a very good push. I was going to say before they did that I'm shocked that they hadn't tried to push right yet, and then they proceeded to and get their astonishing lead.
I definitely think that that was a result of playing patient and having all sides covered. Just seeing all those specials coming out at once, the coordination of Fuego Calamari is truly astounding. You can definitely tell that this is a group of folks that have played in many a land before, but Vic is going to be going down in such a silly fashion.
The Wavebreaker and the Inkstorm is a dangerous combo.
For sure. Eden is going to be able to push up here. Oh, a clean
just
line
able
to
to
the
get through.
goal, just snaking through. But I don't know if they have the clam economy on deck. Oh, Saito coming in with the pity right there, able to just snatch the lead out of Fuego Calamari's hands with 1 minute left on the board. But Fuego Calamari has 3 specials on deck, so anything could really happen at this point.
It really is possible for them to take it back.
I can hear the teams chanting special, special, specials, special, special, specials.
Yeah, the Wavebreaker spot's really good on Red's part, which will definitely help them push. And definitely has before,
Oh,
which
Gabe
was
sneaking in
able
with
to
the
help.
Zipcaster there.
And the Pity Clan, which got them down to 25, taking the lead.
25 ticks at 25 seconds, getting down to 19. 3 down on the side of YARG. This could be Fuego Calamari's game to win if nothing changes here. They still have control of the street with Gabe holding it all on his own. They have a pity back here coming in from Red, looking to hold on to it to prevent an overtime situation perhaps. 2 seconds left, 1 second. We are going to be getting that overtime situation as both teams have a clam on the board. But with no specials on deck, I have to wonder what YARG is going to be able to do to get the push that they need. They just don't have the pin control right now.
Ooh, and Saito does get the pick on Vic, which might help with the jump in. Ooh, but it doesn't quite work out as Gal.
Get that with a tap shot. Fuego Calamari is officially on the board. This might be the beginning of the reverse sweep that they're looking for.
This is a perfect start for their comeback.
I definitely think that if you're gonna go coolerist, you have to make up for what you don't have by using the rest of your specials to their fullest extent. You have to fully justify the uses of those specials because you don't have cooler. And the way that they employed bubbler, the way that they were all like conserving their specials for their pushes, they were definitely taking full advantage of everything that they could possibly throw at YARG. And it paid off in spades, and things are looking up for Fuego Calamari here, but it is still a best of 5, and YARG just has to take one more game to knock Fuego Calamari down into losers.
Yeah, it really can be anyone's game. We may only be on game 4, but Fuego takes this game. Could be either or. I'm really interested to see how YARG tries to adapt to this very paint-heavy comp that Fuego has figured out works best for them, going coolerless and all.
Yeah, I definitely think the bubble is something that they have to adapt to as well. That bubble did a great job holding them up in that street in Manta because you have the bunker covering one side. And so when you have the bunker, the bubble covering the entrance to that street, the other team just has nowhere to go. They were holed up in that street and they couldn't escape. And that let Fuego Calamari get the pushes that they needed to take the lead there.
Right, and the only thing that could really help with damaging the bubble are the bow being able to hit the fan at the top and the Nautilus with its fire rate and object damage. But unfortunately, they weren't able to quite get past it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if Fuego sticks with the bubble, and also if they do, how YARG adapts to that. Whether they stick with the same comp, go for a more object damage heavy comp.
I have to wonder how effective the bubble will be. The next map on deck is Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy, which we haven't seen yet in semifinals. So I definitely think that for Zones, Fuego's comp is going to help them a lot, but they might consider swapping out the Junior for a weapon with a more paint-heavy special.
It's definitely possible. The bubble does cover a good amount of zone.
Oh, they're going to be sticking on the Junior, all right. And the Splatana is going to remain as well. Color is surprised, but also delighted because Gabe's Splatana has been a delight to see. I definitely think that was one of the best changes that they could have made to their comp.
Definitely. I think the combo with the paint heavy and also the aggressiveness of the Stamper definitely makes up for the lack of cooler.
For sure. We're just seeing a light back and forth here. YARG going to be first getting control of the zone. Red getting a very valuable pick on Cytogas there, able to turn the tides of the zone a little bit. Eden jumping out, hoping to conserve that cooler for YARG. Very, very valuable asset that has been proven to them so far. Right now, Fuego is going to be having the superior pick control though.
Absolutely, and a crazy wave breaker throw by Red.
Red is going to be going down though, which is very important.
Yes, but Vic is trying to hold her own with the zone, but is unfortunately unable to recap and will be going down.
Yeah. Right now, YARG holding that control with all of their might. I think that we're going to be needing to see some of that special building and coordination that we saw last game from Fuego Calamari if they want to get out of being holed up in bats right now, as they are. We do see one going down on each side, not much changing right now. YARG getting to hold a very narrow lead right there. We are starting to see those specials come out, and we'll have to see if Fuego Calamari is able to capitalize off of them.
And really groove bubble by Vic on the corner of the map, able to secure them at least the right side of the zone, which then led to the cap.
Yeah, I definitely think first you saw the whale come out, then you saw the bubble come out, and just that special coordination. We saw it last time. We saw the wave come out as well. It was the whale, then the wave, then the bubble. And that, like, consecutive special coordination. I feel like we saw that in the Manta game, and that scored them the win, and that's what we're going to be seeing in this game as well. As they're able to get a wipe on YARG right there. Gabe Splatana is truly out of control, a spectacle to behold.
Definitely. It's definitely a a little interesting how they're not deciding to push up
Yeah, that's what I'm
onto the
thinking,
platform,
too.
up the ramp.
I suppose they might be waiting to conserve their specials right here so they can hold them up on that ramp. So they're forced to drop on the right side, trying to go for that pick, but not able to formulate that plan at completion with 1 tick left. It's up to Red to recap the zone all on her own. And they get
just
it!
like that!
And just like that, they get it. Wow. Fuego Calamari is on their way back up. It's a tie game now, 2-2. We're going to a 5th game, which is what we always like to see. It could be truly anybody's game now.
It really could be. I definitely, that wave breaker was perfect because it instantly popped the chumps, so the chumps weren't able to retake the zone on YARG's part. So that was perfect for Red to be able to hold zone with just their leader and their wave breaker before their teammates can come back and finish the job.
Very, very good coordination. I definitely think the special coordination, they're warming up, and I definitely think, like, we were wondering, like, why aren't they pushing up onto the plat? It's very peculiar. They wanted to get that bubble out, like in Manta, to block out that part of the map. They blocked out the street with the bubble, and they blocked out the plat with the bubble because they knew that they would be dropping on the other side, and they wanted to take advantage of that. And even though it didn't really work out as they planned, Red was able to hold that zone the whole time because of their special coordination with that wave, ultimately netting them the victory. I definitely think that Fuego Calamari right now is proof that you can make coolerless work as long as you're just pushing the rest of your specials as far as they can possibly go. And not to mention Gabe Splatana, truly the best possible choice they could have made. That added aggro on top of all of the paint that they have, it's netting them wins that YARG just isn't able to take from them.
Definitely. Whoa, words. And their passiveness towards the end, now thinking back to it, yeah, again with like the zero cooler, it made sense for them to not push up because if they went down, that would have been it. They would have been able to retake the zone and we would have a longer game.
Exactly. Game 5 now. It's all going to come down to this. Tower control on Museum. We're going to be seeing pretty much the exact same comp coming out inside of Fuego Calamari, and I'm not seeing any changes on the side of YARG either. So,
I do believe that the bow is now the killer whale one.
oh
I
yes,
believe it's
they
the only
don't
change.
have chumps this time, which I definitely think was the right call. I do think that Whale could be a much more valuable asset. I feel like with all the wide space on Alpha Encino, chumps just can't get the mileage that Whale possibly could. When you want to push up onto that turnstile plat, you want to have a special that you can just, that will just let you lead right in, and I feel like Whale is the key to that.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it is also good for controlling onto tower, being able to push them off.
We see right now that Fuego Calamari is getting this first push in like we saw the first couple of games. Bubble and Wave consecutively coming out on top, getting the second checkpoint and 3 down on the side of YARG. It does not look like this push is stopping anytime soon as their paint control is just staggering on their side. So much yellow on the board right now.
Definitely, and they got past the last checkpoint. It is very possible unless
We're
Mudkip
down to 3.
kills Red.
Game's
And
still
they get the
being a menace
wipeout,
right
securing
there, but they're able
a
to
much
get
longer
that
game.
wipeout. You know, we've just been seeing that this whole time, just these massive, massive pushes that just come down to the very last second and just turn this game into like an incredible back and forth. Both teams are putting on such an incredible performance with us today.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, we're here for the back and forths.
Of course, it wouldn't be any fun if these were just clean sweeps, you know?
True. Gabe pressuring the Nautilus and the Zap, unable to get the picks.
The double up there, that 2v1 just wasn't really winnable on their end. Fuego Calamari is going to have to regroup and formulate a game plan if they want to get YARG off of their back here. It looks like they're playing very passively, most likely to build up some specials and use that bubble and that wave to their advantage like we saw them do last game and the game before that.
And they are able to get the pick on Mudkip, but Red gets back on the tower. Reinstating, never mind. And Fuego is able to take control of mid again as well as the tower.
You know, I've been talking about, like, we've been mentioning the bubble a lot because the bubble is kind of at the top of the meta right now alongside strikes and things of that nature. But I definitely think that as we see 3 go down on the side of YARG, that Gabe's Zipcaster has been helping so much. Having that distraction of this pesty Zipcaster like in your face trying to get like picks and swipes at you while the rest of these specials are coming out is just the perfect distraction that Fuego Calamari needs. Just having that zip in their face as they capitalize off of more passive specials while the other team is too distracted to do anything about it. But right now we're going to be seeing an incredibly bloody fight. Cactus staying alive here on the gal, able to get 2 picks before going down, able to hold off YARG just long enough after losing that push for them to retake mid almost immediately. And I don't know if this tower is going to be going very far with Red and everybody else on the backs of YARG right now.
Yeah, with YARG now in order to take the lead, having to KO, it'd be really interesting to see just how far they try to push up and adapt to the playstyle of Fuego.
That was a sick double from Red right there.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you caught that. But yeah, you're right. Right now, for the final game in the set for YARG, it's KO or nothing because Fuego Calamari pushed that tower all the way back to 1. They're not making it easy for each other, but Fuego Calamari is going to go down 2 right there, and the 3rd with Gabe going down as well. Very important pick right there.
Absolutely. And Cactus, again, being a trooper and just holding his own up in the front lines.
I definitely think the defensive parts of this comp, the wall and the bubble coming out, just combined with the aggressiveness of Gabe Stamper, is the crux of this comp right now. They just have all these different components that are playing off of each other perfectly, and they're able to hold up this lead with 40 seconds left on the clock, even without a cooler to their name.
Yeah, it is amazing to see how they do it. I think Gabe and Cactus definitely show that with how, with the sharking, with holding their own, and even the other two as well, with being able to hold control.
For sure. Saito is going to be down that fight. Mudkip and Cactus going off a gruesome 1-to-1. Mudkip hold up in a difficult spot, able to jump out just in time, but Cactus is going to be getting the pick. With Cactus, I think that is a very important lesson to keep in mind. Even though Cactus didn't get the pick on Mudkip and they jumped out, that's still one less player in the fight during this crucial moment as we go into overtime where YARG desperately has to hold on to the tower, but they're not going to be able to do it. Fuego Calamari in an incredible reverse sweep takes the set. What a great show that was.
That was insane. Yeah, very, very interesting to see. And the way that Fuego was, it did seem to cause YARG to stagger more, to jump out more, which definitely was to their benefit.